Whew. Well, hey y'all, Joseph here, out in the dark, shooting some of the lunar eclipse this month. It's the last one for 3 years while seeing the northern hemisphere. Really nerdy and kind of excited about it. I'm shooting here on the R6 for this part, but I took some photos earlier of the start of the eclipse, coming all the way down until into sort of what we'll call the blood moon phase. So this is the editing version of Joseph. Although I love that handheld out in the dark footage at like 10,000 ISO, not exactly my favorite look. So a little more appropriate with the red blood moon action. This is the lens that I used for a lot of the shots of the moon. This is the Tamron 100-400mm 4.5 to 6.3 lens. Excellent for wildlife photography, places with good light. It is not so easy and excellent for photography situations with low light. However, the moon is kind of a bright celestial object, and so it actually makes it a little bit easier in some ways. So I had that on the tripod and outside on our back porch for capturing the blood moon. Thanks to my kid for waking me up at about 4:15 in the morning. She went back to sleep, one of the two girls, thankfully not both, and thankfully not awake for a long time. But I was able to get outside, capture some of these amazing shots of the blood moon. 3 years until we have another sort of full lunar eclipse like this, but really enjoyed getting to shoot that with the Canon R6 on this lens, so full frame on this 100-400mm, but then also shot some video and some time lapses on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K Pro, which is a Super 35 sensor. So when you partner that with a 400mm zoom lens, you get about a 1.5 crop factor. So relatively around 600 millimeters in when you're shooting on this. Shooting at 6K resolution, you can even punch in a little more for 4K, so I'll show you some of that footage here. It's really interesting to pay attention to celestial events and things happening in the world. It's rare that as a as a parent or a pastor working and doing all things that we always get to have our attention there, but I really do appreciate being a bit more in tune with what's happening in the natural world around us, as well as just something cool to, again, stand on my back porch. Wasn't too cold, and I was able to watch it go from just the very start of the eclipse all the way down into the blood moon phase for some of these photos that I was able to edit. I really enjoyed getting to edit these photos and then share them with people. Delighted people found them helpful to see. Just something that is interesting and unique from a biblical perspective, as well as other traditional cultures. There's always this interesting, the moon shall be turned to blood. It's right there in scripture, in many different traditions. But there's something significant for us as humans about how the moon influences the tides, our cycles as people, but also just different seasons of life. We literally have lunar calendars in long through history, as well as our Gregorian calendar system. There's something about the recurrence, the cycles of the moon, the tides, the ebb and flow of life in creation that reminds us that we're part of something larger than ourselves. I cannot imagine being an ancient person whether my society or tribe would have recognized and seen the blood moon as some sort of omen or some sort of action of the divine or celestial powers. But it was really meaningful just to stand on my back porch, take some pictures, and shoot some video of what is a pretty rare occurrence to see, especially for many of us who live in a big city here in Atlanta. Not a lot of dark sky opportunities around here, but it was beautiful and fun to witness it, and just a really meaningful experience, as well as sharing those images online. So just want to get a little backstory on that, but also just say that I'm grateful that I have the opportunities to engage in meaningful content and making things like this, but also being able to push when you're shooting at 400mm zoom and you're at 0.4 seconds shutter speed at f6.3, and you still get a clear image out of it. You just should be thankful. So grateful for the knowledge to be able to do that and capture it well, but also to share that with people here and on Instagram and Facebook as well. Well, that's all the video for today. Thanks for watching today. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more content about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K or the Canon R6, or about lenses, or just about photography and video storytelling in general. I really appreciate it. Please do like the video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Well, thanks y'all for coming out, watching this little video. That's the moon back there behind me. Like I said, coming back out of things. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, and maybe get out there and pay attention to some of the things around you as well. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.